Have you ever canceled plans and felt relief instead of guilt? Not a little relief, a deep, physical kind. Like your body just dropped a weight it had been carrying all week, and for a moment it feels incredible. Then something else appears, a quiet question. What does that say about me? Because we're taught that wanting less social time must mean something is wrong. But what if that feeling isn't a flaw? What if it's actually your nervous system telling you something important? And if that's true, then most people have misunderstood solitude completely. Modern culture has a very clear script. Healthy people are social. Successful people are busy. Happy people are surrounded by others. So, when you feel better alone, the conclusion seems obvious. Something must be off. But this assumption quietly ignores an important psychological distinction. Humans need connection, but they don't all need the same amount of stimulation. And for some minds, too much social input doesn't energize them. It overwhelms them. Imagine two people attending the exact same gathering. Same conversations, same noise, same length of time. One leaves energized, the other leaves drained. Why? Because their brains process the experience differently. Psychologist Elaine Aron spent decades studying individuals she called highly sensitive people. Her research suggests that roughly 15 to 20% of the population has a nervous system that processes sensory and emotional information more deeply, not more dramatically, more thoroughly. Which means something subtle happens during social interaction. Where most people skim the surface, their brains process layers, tone of voice, micro-expressions, emotional undercurrents, hidden tensions in the room. All of that information is being absorbed simultaneously, and processing that information costs energy, a lot of it. Your brain is constantly managing an invisible economy: attention, emotion, social processing, decision-making. Every conversation spends a little bit of that energy, but deeper processing spends far more. So, for people with highly active perceptual systems, long social periods can feel like running dozens of programs at once. Eventually, the system slows down, not because the person dislikes others, but because the brain needs time to integrate everything it just experienced. Solitude is when that integration happens. Now, imagine something simple. Your weekend plans get canceled, and suddenly the pressure disappears. No travel, no constant conversation, no social performance. Just quiet. That relief you feel? That is your nervous system switching from input mode to recovery mode. Like a computer finally closing 20 open tabs. And for the first time all week, your mind gets to breathe. But culturally, we interpret that relief in a strange way. We assume it means you dislike people, or you're socially anxious, or you're secretly depressed. And sometimes that interpretation is correct. But often it isn't. Because psychology makes a crucial distinction, one explored by social neuroscientist John Cacioppo. His research showed that loneliness triggers the same neural alarm systems as physical pain. Humans truly do need connection. But needing connection does not mean needing constant stimulation. The difference between loneliness and solitude is enormous. Loneliness is unwanted disconnection. Solitude is intentional quiet. One hurts, the other restores. Here's where things get interesting. Modern culture has developed a subtle suspicion toward people who enjoy being alone. Eat at a restaurant alone and someone assumes you're waiting for company. Travel alone and people ask if you're lonely. Decline an invitation and friends worry something is wrong. But historically, solitude wasn't viewed as a deficiency. It was viewed as a thinking environment. Philosophers, writers, scientists Some of their most important insights emerged in quiet spaces where social noise couldn't interfere. Solitude gave them something rare: uninterrupted thought. There's another psychological benefit that rarely gets discussed. People comfortable with solitude often develop a deeper relationship with their own thinking. They interrogate their beliefs, challenge their own assumptions, explore ideas before the room influences them. This creates something psychologists call cognitive independence, an ability to think clearly even when social pressure pushes in the opposite direction. And that kind of independence usually develops in the exact place most people avoid: silence. Solitude is powerful, but it can also become something else: a hiding place. There's a version of solitude that restores you, and another version that slowly disconnects you. The difference is subtle. Healthy solitude leaves you clearer, more grounded, more capable of connecting when you return to people. Avoidant solitude feels different. It starts as relief, but slowly turns into numbness. The quiet becomes less reflective and more empty. Only the person inside that experience can tell the difference. So the real question isn't, is it bad that I enjoy being alone? The real question is, what happens to me after time alone? Do you feel restored, more focused, more emotionally present? Or do you feel increasingly disconnected from life? Because solitude isn't an identity, it's a rhythm: inward, then outward; recovery, then engagement. The healthiest people move between both. So, let's return to that moment. The canceled plans, the unexpected exhale. That feeling wasn't laziness, and it wasn't antisocial behavior. It was information. Your nervous system telling you something about how it regulates energy. And once you understand that signal, you stop treating solitude like a weakness. You start treating it like maintenance. The same way sleep restores the body, quiet restores the mind. In a world designed to capture your attention every second, silence has become rare. And people who can sit comfortably with their own thoughts are becoming rarer still. So, if you've ever felt relief when plans fall through, if quiet weekends feel strangely nourishing, if you sometimes think more clearly when the world gets quieter, there's a good chance nothing is wrong with you. You might simply be someone whose mind does its best work when the noise stops.